Hi, you guys. You can now pin a message to the top of your live chat for viewers to read. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Awesome. Hi, everybody. We just finished doing our makeup over on my Facebook page, Beauty by Esmia. So if you want to go watch that back, that's where you will find that. I'm going to be doing my eyebrows with you guys today using two products. I'm using the NYX Brow Glue, and then I'm going to use the Lift and Snatch. So two things about these products. I absolutely love this. It works phenomenally if you just want to keep your brows in place, or if you want to like restructure them to go a different direction without a lamination, you can still do that. I do have a little bit of a lamination left in my eyebrows, which makes it a lot easier, but I'll show you how you can use this product without laminated brows to create a laminated brow, because I do that as well. And then this pen is the Lift and Snatch from NYX, and it's their brow tint pen. I absolutely love this. I've repurchased it 3 times. I just have a beef with it, okay? So the problem with this is the actual pen itself, it leaks. So I always have a paper towel nearby whenever I open it, because I always clean around the pen before I use it, because it will leak. It has these little like drips of ink that will happen. It's happened on my desk, it's happened on my pants. It's not the move, but it's inexpensive and it works. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully they'll get that fixed one day. Okay. Hi, beautiful Brandy. How are you? Thanks for coming over. Okay, so 2 products. It's relatively simple. My eyebrows can be a little controversial. Some people love them, some people hate them, but that is okay. You do whatever feels best for you. I support you. I have always been on a brow journey, and I will continue to be on a brow journey, but this one has kind of stuck for the last 2 years. Even back when I did my brows in the more accepted way, I still got beef. I still have beef with people who didn't like my eyebrows, and that's okay. So we're gonna start with this eyebrow. We're gonna pretend like this eyebrow is not laminated. Lamination, if you don't know what that is essentially doing a brow lift or a brow perm on your brow hairs. So my eyebrows, let me comb them down to where they naturally lay. So this is how my eyebrows naturally lay. You can see that it looks so much thinner. It's a lot more sparse, versus when I laminate them, I'm able to turn the hairs in an opposite direction that cover more area and make the eyebrow appear fuller, and it honestly gives you more lid space and it gives you less of a forehead, which sometimes people appreciate that, but they can be really offensive. So just brace yourself if you want to try it. But again, if you like it, I support you. But I always like to show how my brow naturally lays and how big of a difference it can make, okay? So if I didn't have a brow lamination, these hairs would not stick up just by brushing them. They would still be more so going in the downward direction. But because they're laminated, they kind of like, it changes the way the hair lays. Essentially, like when you get a perm in your hair, it restructures the hair and it gives it kinks. So this, essentially, you're lifting it up at the root, and then it's making it easier for your eyebrows to go up versus just laying in their natural position. Anyway, you can Google it if you want more information about that. I do it myself, and I do have the kit that I use linked in my Amazon storefront, which you guys can find using the link in my bio, or go to esmebascom.com and click on my shop now button. So let's pretend like this eyebrow is not laminated, okay? So if it wasn't laminated, what I would do is I would take my brow glue and I would go in the opposite direction of the hair. What that's gonna do is it's gonna coat the back side of the hair and help it to stick down easier. And then I will start working the hair in the direction that I want it to go. For me, I like mine to be nice and lifted, nice and full, nice and offensive. So I just lift up at the root of the hair and just work that brow glue into the hair. This is a phenomenal glue, but I will say if you mess with it for too long, it will start to flake. But if you work on it while it is still wet, it's gonna stay in place and it's not gonna change colors or flake throughout the day. They're gonna be, you're basically showing them who's boss and you're putting them in their place, okay? So I just kind of work through it until I can feel that it's starting to dry. And then what I will do is I use this little spoolie and I just take it and go right on the edge of that hair. And I start kind of going in a downward motion to kind of comb over those hairs to create this nice shape and arch, okay? And then it starts to create just this really beautiful full brow. Also, I do usually do my eyebrows before my makeup because you do kind of touch around your face. So after I do my eyebrows, I'll take a Q-tip and just clean them up before I go in with my foundation. But for the sake of this video, we're doing them with my makeup on, okay? So now this eyebrow, we're gonna pretend like we're just really enhancing that laminated brow that maybe has relaxed, but we wanna like put them back in their place. I do have like a sparse area here in this eyebrow, but I'm gonna show you how I fill that in. So we have a shaped lifted brow. So on an actual laminated brow, you don't have to do that backward comb to coat the back of the hair because they're already going up. I'll just use this and just gel it through the hair in the direction that I want it to go, and it's gonna stay because those hairs have already been like restructured with lamination. And if you guys, I don't promote you doing your own lamination at home, okay? Unless you do your research or maybe you've had it done before and you kind of know how it goes, then try it. But I will not be held responsible for anybody's brows who don't turn out how they want them to turn out, okay? I have had them professionally done multiple times. I paid lots of attention. I watched lots of YouTube videos before I tried it on myself. Just be sure that if you do try it, you follow the directions and don't think that they need to go on longer, okay? Just listen to the directions. If they aren't like you want them, give them a few weeks and then try again. Fair? Everybody say aye. I agree. Okay, so you can see all those hairs are going up in the direction that I want them to go. You can leave them real aggressive like this, or you can take that spoolie and then you just kind of go right at the tip of that brow hair and kind of comb that edge down, and it's going to create that nice round arch. I will, Brandy, at some point when I'm ready to do another lamination, I will record it. I just don't want to be held responsible for anybody frying their eyebrows or eyelashes off. It really will keep me up at night. Okay, so look at that. I could leave my eyebrows like this and feel completely okay, but we're gonna do more because that's who I am. So I'm gonna use that Lift and Snatch brow pen that I absolutely love. I just really wish NYX would repackage it. So what I do is I take my paper towel and I pull the lid off, okay, very carefully. See, you can see that I already have like stuff coming off of it. And then I just roll it on its side to pick up any ink that might be coming out, and just keep the paper towel nearby, okay? So then let's do this eyebrow first since it's more sparse than this guy. So this pen has a really nice sharp tip on it, and it's nice and flexible, and it allows you to get really beautiful hair-like strokes. So what I'll do is I just follow the direction of the hair and I just go in an upward motion and start to fill in those sparse areas going in the direction that I combed them, okay? I do want to fill in right down here just a little bit to create a little nicer shape. So I'm going down a little bit below where my hair grows, but still just following the natural direction of where my hair is going. Okay, and then here at the top, I kind of go up and over to create that like comb over that we did on the edge, so then that way they're not just like spiked up, okay? And I just like, as soon as the pen hits my face, I flick it. And that's what's gonna give you more of a hair-like look versus like a pen, like you just draw them in. And then I'll fill in this little sparse spot. Just as soon as it touches, I flick back. And then all of this is pretty good. I'm happy with the way the front of my brow is. And then what I'll do is I'll just look straight into a mirror, and I don't know, like the rule of thumb is you want your eyebrow to start at the inside of your nose. As we age, our eyebrows start to thin, and a fuller brow gives a more youthful appearance to the face. And let's be honest, eyebrows are one of the first things people see, which is why people find them so offensive if you like them big and bold like me. But I like to have them nice and full. I just like the look of them better. So I'll follow this same like guide that my natural hair already has, and just really, really gently, as soon as that tip touches, I just go in an upward motion. And we're just creating more hairs here at the front. Literally, as soon as it touches, you flick it. If you get a little too dark, you can just take your finger and press it, and then it'll pick up some of that ink. But then once it dries, it's good. My eyebrows will look like this until I wash them at night. Okay? So this eyebrow is filled in. One of the other things I like to do, I'll finish this brow first so you guys can see the difference of one being filled in and one just being lifted, is I will take a NYX, the same thing, NYX Lift and Snatch pen in a darker shade. So this shade was ash brown. It's just a little bit lighter than my eyebrows themselves. And I like that because it keeps it softer and more natural looking. But espresso is closer to what my brow hairs actually are. And I like to add a couple of darker strokes here where I have that sparse area, just to add a little bit of dimension. This part is not necessary, but if you do have sparse areas and you're trying to achieve a fuller brow, just adding a couple darker strokes helps. That first little flick was a little too dark for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that brow glue and I'm just going to flick it through there really gently, because you don't want to make like a mess on your face, but you just want to soften that stroke there. And then I'll comb them back down. Okay, so a spoolie will fix so much. So keep it on standby. So we have one eyebrow done, one eyebrow not. This eyebrow is a little fuller than this eyebrow naturally, so that's why it's like, it's living its best life over there looking good, okay? And then another thing I like to do is I will take a concealer and I will clean up right up underneath the brow, and it just makes it look a little bit more carved out, a little bit more groomed, I guess you could say. So I'm gonna take like a pointy brush like this, and I just picked up a little bit of concealer. That might be a little too much. I'm gonna wipe off just a touch. And then I'm gonna go right up underneath that brow. And then I'm just gonna carve it out. This will just help it look a little bit more crisp. And then it also highlights your brow bone to catch that light really beautifully. This is, again, not necessary. It just kind of makes a difference, makes it look a little cleaner. I'll just take my finger and then soften that edge. And then remember, I do usually do this before I have makeup on, so I don't need to worry about blending or anything like that. But if I do have makeup on, I'll just like blend that harsh edge that we created with the concealer to soften it up. Okay? How pretty is that? Okay, so let's do the other brow. I'm gonna start with the ash brown, which is that lighter shade. Whew, I almost dropped it on my pants, my friends. And then I'm going to just start flicking through the hair, creating a little bit more fullness at the bottom of my brow, following in that direction that we combed the brows. Same thing here at the front, going a little lower than my brow itself, and then flicking up. And then here at the edge, we'll just give it a little flick downwards, like to create that arch, that rounded arch. You don't want it like spiking up through there. You want it to look a little bit intentional. And then do you see how that kind of like darkened it up a little bit? We'll go in the inside of the brow, and I will just really gently give it a little flick. I guess it's not a flick because I'm kind of just like moving the brush itself in an upward motion to create a, ooh, we went a little dark right there, to create a little bit more fullness. Okay, and then I'm gonna take that, I don't really need to go back through with the darker brow pen, but obviously you can if like your OCD says, hello, you need to do the same thing. And I'll just darken the tail just for the sake of the video. I don't ever mind like the tail being darker, but I always want the insides nice and light. Because I went a little dark there at the front, again, just keep that spoolie on standby, soften it out. You don't want to go through the brow too much because it's already dried and you don't want to like make it look weird, okay? It's a glue, so the more you mess with it, the more cranky it'll get. You can only really like structure the brow when it's wet. Okay, I just grabbed some more concealer. I'm gonna tap off the excess into the paper towel, and then I'm just gonna go right under that brow and clean it up. Okay, do you see how that just like instantly made it look a little bit more groomed? Because let's be honest, I could use a grooming of the eyebrows. And then I'll just use the fluffy side of my brush to soften the edge. Beautiful. Okay, trying to see if I'm seeing a difference in them. We always say brows are sisters, they're not twins, but we try to make them look like more so twins, right? I'm gonna take just a touch of the brow pen in my lighter color, which is ash brown. And then I'm gonna go right here on the arch just to darken it up just a little bit more. I felt like the other side was a little darker on the arch. Okay, I think they turned out really good. What do you guys think? Again, I realized that the style of my brows is not for everybody. And that is okay. That's what's so beautiful about makeup, is that everybody has their own style and everybody has different things that they like or don't like. And you get to wear whatever you want to wear, but let's not hate on other people for liking what they like, okay? I am also thinking about doing another video of like, I don't know, like the average brow versus the laminated brow. If you guys want to see that, let me know, drop it in the comments. But otherwise, I just wanted to keep that a really super simple, very valuable kind of teaching type of video, because I get asked about my eyebrows all the time. But if you want to try this more laminated look, or even if you don't, you just want like a natural like hair stroke eyebrow, these are the products that I use. I get mine on nix.com. I think it's nixcosmetics.com. Or you can find them at CVS or Walmart, just like any drugstore, you'll find the Lift and Snatch and the brow glue, okay? So that's all I have for you guys today. I will be live every Thursday here on my YouTube channel, so make sure you like and subscribe, and then if you click on the bell, you will get notified anytime I post or whenever I go live, okay? I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you next time. Bye.